CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
There's been a lot of rain in the forecast, a lot of dampness too, so people aren't just doing the traveling, which does affect us for sure.
It may be warm outside now, but just how much has the wet spring delayed the summer tourism season? Thank you for joining us. Flooding across Muskoka, combined with economic uncertainty and adverse weather, has delayed the start of what is typically a busy time for cottage country, but it's not all bad news. CTV's Mike Lang brings us more on the impacts.
The town of Bracebridge is almost out of the water following one of its worst flooding seasons.
Overall, we're in good shape in terms of recovery, and we're looking forward to welcoming folks to Bracebridge as we move into our wonderful summer season here.
Flood debris mostly clear from local parks and water levels back to seasonal levels. Town staff holding a debrief Wednesday afternoon on their response, but several steps in the recovery still remain.
We did have some impacts to some of our park infrastructure and some of our road infrastructure.
The pedestrian path up to the scenic Bracebridge Falls remains closed. The town had to remove a snowmobile crossing along Santa's Village Road after it collected a substantial amount of debris. The total price for the damage expected to be confirmed later this summer.
We know that it's going to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Camp Hillbilly in Gravenhurst and its sister resorts in Severn and Huntsville also feeling the impact.
They had a lot of flash flooding this year, so it affects the tourism. It's like a chain effect mostly for us. Like if our sister companies are affected, then we're affected by them. And if the area is affected, then people don't want to come to the area.
The Gravenhurst campsite opened 2 weeks behind schedule and was affected by poor weekend weather this month.
We had a pretty quiet Victoria Day weekend. But we're amped up and we're ready for the nice weather coming out now for sure.
On the other hand, real estate in the region of Haliburton stayed strong even despite a state of emergency being declared in the town of Minden.
We have been seeing a steady recovery.
Median sales prices up 7% compared to last year, and average days on market have decreased by nearly half.
We're really seeing the trends pointing towards a strong real estate market for 2026.
The District of Muskoka extended its program for residents to dispose of flood debris without tipping fees until the end of June. For tourism, the town and resort I spoke with today are optimistic that things will trend back up to seasonal standards as the weather continues to get warmer. Mike Lang, CTV News, Gravenhurst.
An update now on the investigation into a large house fire in Penetanguishene that broke out late Saturday night. Police say human remains have been found inside, and officials confirming it's the body of an adult man. The Ontario Fire Marshal has completed the on-scene investigation at this time, saying there are no signs of foul play. Emergency crews were called to the scene on Champlain Road on May 23rd, where the house was already in flames. A large police presence was seen on Barrie Road in Orillia today as OPP carried out what they call a criminal investigation. Officers, along with the emergency response team, K9 unit and OPP helicopter, searched the area for a wanted man. Police say the man's identity is not known and he wasn't found. There's no threat to public safety, however, but that investigation is ongoing. Meanwhile, flames and heavy smoke were seen coming from a vehicle on Highway 11 in the Severn area. OPP say emergency crews were called this afternoon after this car was reported on fire. It was pulled over in the southbound lane. It's believed to have been caused by a mechanical issue. Police say that there were no injuries, however, reported. Royal Victoria Regional Health Centre and 3 other area hospitals are currently under a code grey. The emergency announcement is from a temporary infrastructure upgrade disruption across all 4 sites. That includes Georgian Bay General Hospital, Collingwood General and Marine Hospital, as well as Headwaters Healthcare Centre. People attending any of those locations should expect delays. Affordability and housing continue to be major talking points here in Barrie as new city data shows a strong start to 2026 for development across the municipality. CTV's Luke Simard brings us more.
Together, these projects represent meaningful progress in expanding our housing supply and increasing affordability in this city.
The city of Barrie is growing up, literally. The city has announced dozens of housing developments over the last year to accommodate the rapidly growing population. This year alone, Barrie has seen 780 total housing starts compared to last year's 410, a 173% increase.
It's really exciting to see things come off the paper. I'm in development services, so I see things very early on when it is in that 2D. So to actually see cranes going up and construction happening and those investments happening, creating jobs as well, is just fantastic.
Projects are being built around the city with more than 1,900 units being built. Within those units, 456 will be affordable.
We really want to make sure that the city of Barrie is a place that's a community for everyone. We want to have more housing options available.
Barrie programs like a concierge program and the community improvement plan have allowed developers and builders to get shovels in the ground faster.
We were literally astounded by the speed at which their planning staff and various departments were responding to our applications.
YYZ has 2 developments in Barrie at Coulter Street and Yonge Street, adding if other cities adapted Barrie's policies, it would influence developers to build.
I mean, we've had developments all across the GTA. If we started seeing this type of quick response time, it would be a game changer in the industry.
With developers being able to process their site plans in under 3 months.
This development was approved for the City of Barrie concierge program that was initiated by Mayor Nuttall. It definitely helped streamline the planning application process. I think we were through the site plan process in less than 120 days.
According to developers like Pratt Homes, the programs will allow it to get shovels in the ground 9 to 12 months earlier than expected, like right here on Dean Avenue, where it will provide more access to housing in Barrie with a scheduled completion date in 2027. Luke Samard, CTV News, Barrie.
It is 6 minutes past 6. Time now to head outside and take a look at the roads tonight. Let's bring you a live look at Highway 400 tonight near Mapleview Drive. Looking over Park Place Shopping Centre from our CTV tower camera on Beacon Road. Traffic is moving along smoothly at this time. In the distance, you can see there it is. Lake Simcoe shining under today's conditions. Now a similar beauty shot from our CTV camera, which was over at Heritage Park in Barrie earlier today, where city crews were out keeping the grounds clean as folks strolled through the area, taking in a slice of the summer-like weather right in the heart of the city. Now to the heart of Bob's Garden. That's where we find KC tonight. You look very summery. How's it feel?
It feels very nice, but the north wind is back. Did you get a little taste of that today? The north wind. When the winds are from the south, winds are from the west, quite nice. But when they're from the north, well, they're still a little on the chilly side. They really are. The sun's gorgeous, and it is still very nice out here. Air temperature, that is. Let's continue on right now with the first look at the forecast, and here we go. Brought to you by the graveldrivewayguy.com, your local gravel driveway expert. Still 20 degrees out here, and the wind's picking up. Oh, says out of the west now. Okay, 28 kilometers an hour. It's out of the northwest just a few moments ago. And let's take a look at the temperature outside your door where you're watching us from this very second. 24 degrees in the sunshine city of Aurelia. 21 it looks like in Owen Sound. 19 in Parry Sound. 23 in Gravenhurst. 18 in Collingwood. 24 in Toronto. And it looks like 19 and 20 that would be in Newmarket and in Owen Sound. Oh, Rita the groundhog just ran across the parking lot again. Hello, Rita. Wish we could show you that shot. This is the radar satellite image, though. We're showing you that shot right now. Rita's on the run. And clouds on the run? Yeah, they really are. I'm looking around right now, and I'm not seeing too many. I said that last night, and then we were inundated with cloud cover. And I did mention it's a cool wind, Sarah. And now we're just a couple of days away from June. It's, of course, not possible to have any snow.
What?
Wait a second. But there is a possibility, or so it seems when we look at the historical weather pattern. I'll tell you a little bit more later.
No.
Don't worry about a thing. It'll all be okay.
I'm waiting with bated breath. Thanks, Case. CAA is warning drivers about an increase in distraction thefts. It says schemes often involve criminals approaching drivers who have parked in public spaces and using electronic devices to capture their key fob signals. It does require the key fob to be within range of the car it's connected to.
Thieves are using different types of techniques to try to gain access to vehicles, and that's really trying to take advantage of a lot of people's goodwill by asking questions and distracting them for just a moment, because they'll have these devices with them that are intended to try and clone a vehicle's key fob, and by getting somebody's attention for a couple of moments unsuspectingly, they're going to get access to that information and try to get access to your vehicle.
CAA is reminding people to park in well-lit and busy areas, be wary of anyone who approaches, and to store key fobs in pouches that block signals. The Crown has stayed charges against one of the men accused in a shocking double homicide case. 47-year-old Dave Dumont has been charged with accessory after the fact to murder, allegedly linked to accused killer Robert Ladouceur, who still faces charges in the alleged killing and dismemberment of two men at a Barrie encampment. Meanwhile, charges against a third man, Eddie Guittard, are expected to be dropped when he returns to court in early June. The allegations against the accused have not been tested in court. A Midland woman who pleaded guilty to being an accessory after the fact to murder and the killing of her former boyfriend has now been sentenced. CTV's Mike Arcelidis reports, but first a warning that details in this story may be disturbing to some of our viewers.
Mackenzie Herod left the Barrie courthouse after Justice Michelle First handed her a 2-year conditional sentence, including house arrest, for being an accessory after the fact to murder. Herod, who turns 21 in June, accepted responsibility for her actions the night her former boyfriend Kyle Farrows was stabbed to death December 14th, 2023, inside his Aurelia apartment, where Herod was staying with another man accused of Farrows' murder. As part of an agreed statement of facts, Herod claimed Farrows tried to force himself on her and held a knife to her throat, prompting a fight between the two men. Herod said she smashed a bong over Farrows' head to help the man overpower Farrows, who was then stabbed several times. The allegations against the man have not been tested in court. Herod, meanwhile, will spend the next 18.5 months under house arrest and curfew, credited with 5.5 months of pre-sentence custody. She's been out on bail for more than 2 years under strict conditions, including having to wear a GPS ankle monitor. The court heard Herod, who has a lengthy history of mental health struggles, helped her co-accused flee the scene after Farrows died. Herod admitted to cleaning blood from a doorway in the apartment, then tossing her phone as she provided emotional support to her co-accused while on the run. Herod said she was addicted to drugs at the time, including cocaine, crack cocaine, and fentanyl, and didn't have a place to stay. Farrows' family described him as a loving son, uncle, and grandson, saying Herod's actions robbed Farrows of his future. As part of her sentence, Herod is ordered not to communicate with the family of Kyle Farrows. Mike Arcelidis, CTV News, Barrie.
A 5-year-old boy and a 16-year-old girl are recovering after being bitten by coyotes late last week. Both incidents happened in the Markham area, and later in the show we'll be joined by Aspen Valley Wildlife to talk about what to do if you see a coyote and why we often see more wild animals out this time of the year. A rare sighting early this morning where what appeared to be a meteor lit up the sky. CTV Sean Leathong brings us more.
A flash in the early morning sky, a meteor entering Earth's atmosphere seen in Buffalo and as far away as this one in Queensville.
Whoa, what the? I was coming out of Tim Hortons grabbing a coffee after the gym and seen a big flash of light.
Happening around 10 after 5 this morning, Brian Follow caught the flash on his dash cam in Stouffville.
It was cloudy in the morning, so you seen it come through the sky a little bit. And then it came down, got home, decided to check my dash cam, and I seen the meteor streaking through the sky.
According to astronomer Peter Brown at the University of Western Ontario, the actual location of the meteor was hundreds of kilometers away.
Started over Lake Erie and ended in upper New York State. It was caused by an object about the size of between a softball and a basketball that hit the atmosphere moving about 50 times the speed of sound.
Best seen in western New York, Brown says the bright flash is the object breaking apart in Earth's atmosphere, with nothing likely hitting the ground.
The pressure of the atmosphere causes it to start breaking up, and at some point that pressure just exceeds the strength of the object, and it just comes apart catastrophically, and it produces a bright flash.
Brown says events like this are common, but it's a bit unusual for an object to get this low in our atmosphere, creating a viewing radius extending 400 to 500 kilometers.
It's mind-boggling to see something, how science can be so huge, right? It's all around us.
And in a flash, it's gone. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
Very cool. Canada's Olympic and Paralympic athletes were in Ottawa today, meeting with the Prime Minister and Governor General. That includes local athletes Megan Oldham, Michaela Gosselin, Colin Cameron, and Mark Eitzen. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver reports.
The Games may be long over, but the Olympic and Paralympic celebrations continue. The audience today, dozens of Ottawa school kids.
It's really fun. I've been very excited this whole time. I got to wear a gold medal. It's been really fun.
Hold on tight.
A fun and motivating moment with freestyle skier Megan Oldham and her gold medal that 10-year-old Ignacio Corpena will never forget.
Any sport, I'm now excited to do any sport whatsoever. I don't think it really matters as long as I have fun.
Do you know what box it is? The meet and greet outside Rideau Hall.
Can I use the pen for a sec?
Special for the students and for athletes like Paralympic gold and bronze medalist Tyler Turner.
Maybe we don't all get to stand at the top of a podium at the Olympics or Paralympics. However, that pursuit of a goal like that, it comes with community, it comes with pride, it comes with, growth, and that's what I think we can all get from sport.
From Rideau Hall to Parliament, the country's best athletes receiving a thank you on behalf of all Canadians.
Your success, your drive, your example, your sports, your sense of sporting values, that united this country.
A country athletes like figure skaters Paul Poirier and Piper Gillies are proud to represent.
Sport brings people together, and to be here and be celebrated feels great. But again, we're inspiring the next people to be like, hey, maybe that can be us one day. So I think these are really important moments, and we're just really embracing it all.
Canada brought home 36 medals in Milan, and Ottawa is hoping to grow that success with a $775 million investment in high-performance sport unveiled in the Spring Economic Update. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Still to come, roller skating into the season for outdoor fun. How the town of Innisfil marked the start of an action-packed event lineup. Plus, reminiscing on 150 years. If you have memories from the Barrie Central Collegiate or even before, you won't want to miss this local reunion. You're watching CTV News Barrie. Presented by Paul Sadlin Motors.
Music, it's a small community, so when something's really good, we all want to be part of it.
We have an amazing music scene here. Having people come together in community, listen to some amazing local artists, brings the downtown alive. It brings our city alive.
Troubadour Festival 2026 is going to be off the hook. Road Hammers, got the Watchmen, Bahamas, going to be great.
Thanks for staying with us. It was a rolling good time in Innisfil last night as the town kicked off its first pop-up event of the season with roller skating in the square. Oh, I just love that. From seasoned skaters to first-timers just trying to stay upright, folks hit the rink for a night of music, food, drinks, and plenty of laughs and a few falls. The event had a summer fair feel and marked the unofficial start of Innisfil's warm weather event season.
I automatically thought spring, roller skating, getting people outside, moving outside, enjoying the weather, and it just happened to be the most perfect day for it. We would like to see this event be much larger in 2027. We did do this event on a weeknight to do a trial to see what the interest was with the community, and so far there's been a great interest.
And with that, the town says it will already start planning the event for next year. Born in Gravenhurst in the late 1800s, Norman Bethune became a world-renowned doctor who championed universal health care and helped bring modern medicine to China. Now the historic site that bears his name is marking 50 years of honoring his legacy. Bethune Memorial House in Gravenhurst gives visitors a chance to explore the life of the trailblazing physician, including his medical inventions, international humanitarian work, and global impact. And organizers say the goal is to keep Bethune's story and enduring legacy, especially in China, alive for future generations.
Chinese Canadians in particular have expressed it several different ways. I've had families tell me they chose to move to Canada, to raise a family here because of his story. In addition, they learn about his story still today. It's taught in schools, so people grow up and know his story. They know his name better than typically than Canadians do.
The site also offers hands-on experiences, including period costume dress-up and interactive exhibits for the whole family. Special 50th anniversary events are planned throughout the summer at Bethune Memorial House. It has now been 10 years since Barrie Central Collegiate closed its doors, and now alumni are coming together to celebrate the school's legacy.
Lionsgate Hall, the space is going to transform really nicely. We'll be filling it up with lots of things for people to see, look at, and participate in.
A community reunion event is happening on June 6th, open to everyone with a connection to the school, whether they were part of the original Barrie Grammar School or the Barrie Collegiate Institute. It's meant to gather and reflect on more than a century and a half of memories.
Barrie Central being the only high school in the downtown core, we had a really strong sense of community, not only to the city, but to the downtown area itself. We'll have a slideshow going. We've got so many pictures, been putting that together. It's been really fun feeding through that. So we hope that everybody gets a chance to connect to their own memory from the time being there, not only in that, but in seeing one another and just having a nice evening of, as I said, connection and celebration for Barrie Central.
The event is being held at Lionsgate Banquet Center on Blake Street. Well, it is Wednesday, hump day, so why don't we start to look towards the weekend? For that, let's go to Bounce 104.1 Morning Show host Martin Van Coy with your weekend event listings.
Hi, I'm Martin Van Coy for Bounce Radio, and these are your weekend events for Pure Country 106 and Bounce 104.1. Kicking things off, Game On. World Cup Esports Tournament is getting underway with online qualifiers running Friday through to Monday, leading to a live finale at 5 Points Theatre in Barrie later in June. It's a free regional gaming showdown for youth across Simcoe County, and you can learn more at barrie.ca. Moving along, the IG Wealth Management Walk for Alzheimer's takes place in Muskoka this weekend, with events Saturday in Bracebridge and Sunday in Huntsville. It is a meaningful fundraiser supporting local dementia programs and honoring loved ones. You can get more involved by visiting support.alzheimers.ca. Also happening this weekend is the Coldwater Lions Club Duck Race that is returning on Saturday. The fun starts at 11 with vendors and kids activities. The parade begins at 12:30 and the duck race hits the water at 2. It's a classic community day event, so don't forget your rubber ducky. You can learn more at coldwaterlions.com. Moving along, the 2026 MS Walk takes place along Barrie's waterfront on Sunday. Registration begins at 9:30 at Heritage Park. Opening ceremonies are at 11 and the 5K will follow. Every step helps support the 90,000 Canadians affected by MS. You can learn more at mscanada.ca. And lastly, the Midland District Railroad Club Train Show rolls into the North Simcoe Rec Center Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4. You can expect model train displays, vendors, and fun for all ages. And you can find more info on the Midland District Railroad Club Train Show's Facebook page. Those are your weekend events for Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
Well, a victor has been crowned and funds raised presented to the Busby Center. We'll bring you all the highlights from our Iron Chef Showdown coming up in just a few. But right now, let's head outside. Cases in the garden.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a low of 9 degrees this evening, but on this day in 1907, we received 2 centimeters of snow. Stop, says our weather watcher artiste. Enough weather, boy. Carly says, yeah, we know May isn't always sunshine, flowers, and rainbows, but this is beautiful. Well done, Carly. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
Now, that last photo was sent in by Sean. His 92-year-old mother walks to her local park to do outdoor strength and balance training, so she says she can maintain her independence. He sent in that picture, he says, to inspire other seniors to be active and enjoy the outdoors. Casey, I know you're a massive advocate of fitness, always encouraging me to get out and do more. What do you love about it?
What do I love about it?
Yeah, you're always doing something active.
I'm just trying to keep warm right now because this wind is kind of chilly. It's just kind. Yeah, just keep moving. That's 92 years old and still training. That's tip of the hat for sure. Absolutely. Keep moving. That's what you're going to want to do, and it's nice to do that in the sunshine. And when we got a nice wind out of the northwest, it's a good idea to keep moving. And let's keep moving right now. Move weather along. And as we do that, how about 25 degrees in the Sunshine City of Orillia, holding steady at 25. 18 in Parry Sound, 22 in Gravenhurst, and 18 in beautiful Alliston, Ontario. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what the almanac looks like. 21 and 11. Yeah, 21 and 11. 31.5 in 1978 and minus 1.7 in 1954. As mentioned a little earlier, 2 centimeters of snow back in 1907. There's no snow, but there is a sunrise sunset for 15 hours and 12 minutes of daylight. Say, Adam, would you roll that? Ah, there we go. From the north, ladies and gentlemen. From the north, here comes some clouds. Are there any showers in those clouds? I don't believe there is. Let's break it down. Take a look at some of the numbers. Southern tip of Georgian Bay Lake, Simcoe. Overnight temperatures 9 and 11 degrees. Partly cloudy skies. I'm checking the skies right now. Okay, we're looking pretty good right now. 9 and 11, and tomorrow 18 and 19. Mainly sunny. Another gorgeous day. Another gorgeous day. Thank you, Mother Nature. This is Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, 11 and 12 under partly cloudy skies this evening. Tomorrow, 19 and 22 degrees. Mainly sunny conditions. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thursday, right? Lovely Thursday. Lovely, lovely. Parry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Halliburton. 9 and 10 degrees overnight. Mainly cloudy skies. Okay. Yeah, you saw the forecast radar. Slight, ever so slight chance of a shower. Wouldn't amount to much, but there is a slight chance. And then tomorrow, 21 and 20 degrees. Sun and cloud in Parry Sound. Clearing skies all the way to Gravenhurst and over in Halliburton Way, beautiful Halliburton, mainly cloudy conditions, pardon me, for tomorrow. That's tonight and tomorrow. Now time for the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast starting this evening in Simcoe County. And Friday into the weekend, ramping up to the weekend, slight chance of a shower, fair skies, slight chance, 20 degrees. Look at the weekend, sun-filled, 18 and 19 degrees. I do think it's going to be warmer on a personal level. 18 and 19 is what they're saying right now. I think we're trending warmer. And then Monday, sun and cloud, 19 degrees, slight chance of a shower. This is York Region, 5-day extended forecast, slight chance of a shower on the Friday, 22 degrees. Saturday and Sunday, sun-filled. 19, 20, and Monday arrives, slight chance of a shower holding on to 20 degrees. I do think it's going to be a little milder. We'll find out if I'm right or wrong. Closer we get to the weekend 5-day extended forecast, Muskoka, Parry Sound, Halliburton, and 40% chance of a passing shower on Friday. It would be in the evening, incidentally, ladies and gentlemen. 19, 18 on Saturday, sun-filled. 19, slight chance of a shower both on the Sunday and the Monday, holding steady at 19 degrees. And the wind gusts this evening to 50k, and it's a cool wind, Sarah, so I got to keep moving.
I think I've got a coat in here. I don't know if it'll fit you quite right, but I'm sure Casey would embrace it. It was an evening of Iron Chef style competition to support local, and today we learned more about the impact from our high stakes culinary showdown.
We're so thrilled, and hopefully we can do this again next year because it was that good. Your food was amazing.
There's our winner, and Peggy Hill, who sponsored the event with the team from Tangle Creek Golf and Country Club, presenting more than $3,000 to the Busby Center, which also received substantial awareness from the event to continue to offer resources to people experiencing homelessness across Barrie and southern Georgian Bay.
The funds raised from this event go towards our trustee program. It's a voluntary program that is people can connect with to work on financial literacy and budgeting and that kind of stuff, because it's already hard enough to pay bills, and then you're struggling with insecurities of housing and food insecurities.
I don't know that everybody realizes just what type of work these people do, and selfless work.
And we're just all here to look after each other, and it does take a village, and it does take all of us pulling together. But Busby, without question, does incredible work, and I wish more people understood the work that they actually do.
It's funny, Brandon, who ended up being victorious in Iron Chef, I'm thinking about buying him a belt because he's walking around calling himself champ.
Oh, I love that confidence. Martin Van Coy and I hosted the event, and it really did come right down to the wire, separating the two chefs by only a handful of votes. But even though Brandon came on top, the duo came together at the end, saying next year they want to take on their head chef and keep the tradition going. Time is running out to get your ticket for one of the region's biggest 50-50 draws. The RVH Auxiliary Community 50-50 draw closes at midnight tonight, or just before. That means there are just hours left to enter for your chance to win big, while also supporting patient care at the Royal Victoria Regional Health Centre. The monthly fundraiser helps purchase new equipment for Simcoe County's largest hospital, and officials say every ticket sold helps support better care for patients right across the region.
Recently had a brother pass away last month from cancer, so I know how important patient care is. I want to thank the doctors, nurses, and the support staff for extending Kevin's life for 2 years to be able to spend that extra time with him. It was really important. And I know other families go through this sort of issue too. So having the proper equipment in place is also important so the staff can help people with their health journeys.
The jackpot is sitting at just over $350,000. The deadline to get your tickets is 1 minute to midnight. As we get into the swing of spring, it also brings with it an uptick in wildlife. Coming up next year on CTV Barrie, we'll be joined by Aspen Valley Wildlife to talk about what to keep in mind this time of the year. Plus, we'll recap tonight's top stories. Please do stay with us. Recapping our top stories, Mackenzie Herod has been given a 2-year conditional sentence, including house arrest for being an accessory after the fact to murder. Herod accepted responsibility for her actions the night her former boyfriend, Kyle Farrows, was stabbed to death. The City of Barrie announcing 780 total housing starts compared to last year's 410. That's a 173% increase. Projects are being built around the city with more than 1,900 units coming. Within those units, 456 will be affordable. And flooding across Muskoka combined with economic uncertainty and adverse weather has delayed the start of what is typically a busy time for cottage country, but real estate in the region of Haliburton staying strong despite a state of emergency being declared in the town of Minden. A child is recovering after being bit by a coyote in Markham earlier this week, just the latest in a string of similar incidents across the province. Now, when asked about this, Premier Doug Ford didn't hesitate to share his approach to scaring off coyotes.
I don't know if you've ever heard them. They're screeching, so I went out there and howled like a wolf. They stopped instantly. Whoa! There you go.
And wildlife experts say this is only just the beginning of a busy wildlife season, and we can expect to see more this time of the year. So the question becomes, what can be done when there are animal encounters or sightings as we head into spring? Joining us now to discuss just that from Aspen Valley Wildlife Sanctuary is Director of Advancement and Communication, Allison Pappas. It's great to see you, Allison.
Yeah, good to see you, or good to hear you and see you.
Let's talk a little bit about what people should do if they encounter a coyote. Was the Premier spot on there?
Well, it's not a wrong thing to do is to howl. So basically, using a firm voice and being confident with that voice is one thing that you can do. I think it's important to realize that for the most part, wild animals see us, human beings, as predators. They see us as being very unpredictable. So they really want to get away from us. So the worst thing you could possibly do is to corner a wild animal. You need to first and foremost give them space. I would also recommend to people that they stay calm. They don't run away. You can slowly move away. And again, use a firm voice like Premier Ford chose to do a howl, and that could work. Definitely keep your pets on a leash though. So
yes,
yeah.
Let's expand on that. So what if I'm walking with my dog, my pet, or my child? What would you say?
If you're walking with your pet, I'd like to think that you have your pet on a leash, because if your dog is not on a leash, it could go off into the bush and it could run into a mama bear and the cub, and that bear would come out and follow your dog right back to you. So it's very, very important that you keep your pets on a leash. That's what I would encourage.
Okay, and if you were with your child?
If I was with my child, I would pick up my child if it was a small toddler, and I would do exactly what I said. I would stay calm. I'd give the animal space to move away, and also I myself would slowly back away.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about this time of the year. Why is spring a busy time for wildlife?
You can imagine the animals have just come out of a long hibernation or a pseudo hibernation, and there's a lot of food available. They're having their babies. They may be migrating, or perhaps they're building territory for themselves. And that is going to naturally increase human-wildlife interactions. You're going to see more wildlife during this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when it comes to those young animals, you introduced me to a phrase called accidental kidnapping. What is that?
Yeah, it's accidental kidnapping is a very real thing, actually. It's when people, big hearts, they care for animals, they love wildlife, and they see an animal and they believe the animal is orphaned and on its own, when in actual fact, that animal's mother is not far off. And a good example would be deer fawns. A lot of people see a deer fawn alone, hidden in the shrubs, and the mom has actually done that intentionally. The baby deer fawn doesn't have a scent, the mother does, and she's stashing away her baby, possibly for the whole day, to keep it safe from predators.
Okay. Last question. What can people do to keep animals away from their property, especially since we're bound to see more of them?
I think you want to remove all attractants. So any food sources. So if you have fruit trees, I would pick up the fallen fruit. If you keep your dog food outside, I would bring that inside. You basically want to make your home less appealing. And one of the important ways to do that is just to never feed wildlife.
Really great information. Thank you so much, not only for the conversation, but for what you and the rest of the Aspen Valley Wildlife team do, Allison.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Let's go ahead and pull up the website, because just today the wildlife team at Aspen Valley released the latest version of The Guardian, and great information in there, and our digital journalists have shared that info on our website, ctvnews.ca/Barrie. This is good news. Relief is on the way at the pumps, but you'll have to hold off until tomorrow. Experts forecast the price of gas will fall 10 cents a litre on Thursday, bringing it to around $1.74 for regular. Still so much. This comes following the lead of oil, which has dropped nearly $10 a barrel in less than a week. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and see how that played out on our markets today. Beginning with the TSX, it was down 241 points. The Dow was up 182, and the Nasdaq was up 18. And commodities, oil was down, closing at $88.68 a barrel. Gold was down, finishing at $4,481 an ounce. Our dollar down, ending the day at 72.30 cents US. A Barrie man says he is shocked to find his payday loan still hasn't been paid off, despite making regular payments over time. CTV's Pat Foran dug into why this may be.
Terry O'Halloran of Barrie runs a small engine repair business. He had health problems 5 years ago and lost his leg. He needed to get a wheelchair and make modifications to his home. He took out a $4,500 loan and was paying $200 per month. He never missed a payment and thought it would be paid off soon.
That's why I called them, trying to get a hold of them to see what the final amount is left on the loan. Like I figure, I was figuring maybe a couple of $100. That was going to be it after 5 years.
What O'Halloran thought was a loan was actually a line of credit, first with cash money and later taken over by Lend Direct. He did refinance once, but was shocked to find out 3/4 of his payment was going to interest. He still owes almost $3,700.
At $4,500, if you do the math, it comes out to pretty near $10,000 for a $4,500 loan.
The criminal rate of interest that could be charged before January 1st, 2025 was almost 48%. Now it's capped at 35% interest, but for some who had existing loans before the changes were made, they're still paying the higher amount.
I know I can't continue to pay this thing. The interest is going to keep going on there.
CTV News reached out to Lend Direct but did not get a response. The Credit Counseling Society says taking out payday or high-interest loans or lines of credit can create a spiral of debt.
The fact is, the interest rate is so high, they're very, very difficult to pay off once you fall into them.
O'Halloran says he still has to purchase medical supplies and has other bills to pay. He regrets borrowing the money.
I could probably pay it back in a matter of another 5 years. And that's going to put me 71 years old. I figured by now this thing would have been taken care of.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
The city of Barrie is about to get a whole lot sweeter as a popular U.S. cookie chain is opening a new location in the city this summer. The franchise Crumble will be coming soon, though an official opening date hasn't been released. Known for its rotating weekly cookie menu and its famous pink boxes, Crumble has more than 1,000 locations around the world. Still to come, swinging into action. A Spider-Man impersonator is working to connect his community in Fredericton. We'll have his story when we come back. Time now to take a look at your Wednesday night primetime lineup. WNBA basketball starts at 8 o'clock, Toronto versus Chicago, followed by Criminal Minds at 10 and CTV News Barrie at 11 p.m. Welcome back. A friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is getting attention for his community work in Fredericton. CTV's Laura Brown caught up with the local hero who, like the fictional character, is very protective of his identity.
His spidey senses told him the world could use a pick-me-up. So he put on the mask.
I just wanted to come out, hopefully inspire people, do a good deed, make people laugh, and just kind of spread joy in whatever way I can.
The idea to become Fredericton's friendly neighborhood superhero started by untangling some bad guy behavior.
I drove down here the other day and noticed right along this whole strip there's a lot of garbage piled up.
So for about a month now, a couple hours a week, morning or night, whenever he can escape his real life, Spider-Man appears.
And do your family and friends know who you are and do they know you're doing this?
And nobody knows. No, I'm very sneaky.
Just as Peter Parker intended.
I definitely noticed the Green Goblin lurking around. So.
Frederictonians are taking notice and leaning into the Marvel.
Spider-Man is cool, but I'm more of a Batman guy. But no. It just causes people to be more social and to talk to people, right? I think that's just the valuable thing in community is just getting more people to talk to each other.
I've seen him on TikTok. I said, if I go to Fredericton, maybe I'll get lucky and see him. Well, I did.
He claims he's not looking for fame or fortune, but something that means a lot to this Spider-Man is showing children they can do good simply because it's the right thing to do.
The saying with Spider-Man is everyone can wear the mask. It doesn't have to be someone special. It can be boy or girl, any gender, any person, anywhere in the world can help out in their own way.
A reminder that with great power comes great responsibility. Laura Brown, CTV News, Fredericton.
Case, I think when it comes to giving back to the community, everyone is on board. But when it comes to Spider-Man versus Batman, it can be very divisive. Divisive?
Easy for you to say. Who are you for? Are you more of Batman or you're more Spider-Man?
Clearly not easy for me to say. Oh, I'm Team Batman. Yeah, but I am original 1989 Michael Keaton Batman. I watched that VHS so many times, the tracking button couldn't even smooth out the image. What about you?
1989, before my time.
Yeah, the original Joker, Jack Nicholson.
Let's go Adam West.
Okay, that's going way back.
Yeah, you're going way back. And let's look forward. From looking backwards, looking forwards to Get Up and Go forecast. First thing tomorrow morning, what are we looking at? Well, how about a little sunshine right across the board? A couple clouds kicking around, 11 degrees in Barrie, 12 degrees in Newmarket, and it looks like 11 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning, and fair skies. Another beautiful day tomorrow. Have yourself a fantastic evening inside Sarah.
Thanks very much, Case, and thanks to everyone at home for joining us on this Wednesday night. Now, I'm not done yet. I will be back with you at 11 for your late news. Hope you can join me then. Either way, have a great night.